Monday to come is the best day for work, and here's why. Let me show you some of the mind-blowing.
I love you, Lord, for your mercies never fail me. Oh, my days, I'll be held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my hands, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh,
All my life you have been faithful.
thank you, Jesus.
All my life you have been so good.
With every breath,
With every breath that I am able,
I will sing.
I will sing of the goodness of God.
I will sing.
I will sing of the goodness of God.
It's okay. Your grace is all I see. Your mercy is all I see. Oh, oh, oh. Mi ò dàbí o, tí mo ti là kọjá.
Mi ò dàbí o,
Tí
mo ti là kọjá.
I don't look like what I've been through. My story is the story of grace. Èmi ò dàbí. Oh, oh, oh. Èmi ò dàbí. Èmi ò dàbí ohun tí mo ti là kọjá. It's okay, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God. Intentional God. Everything is working out for my good. Dependable. Oh, 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 oh. Intentional God. Everything, oh. Oh, man. Ọlọ́run. Oh, man. Ọlọ́run. Hey, you got times and seasons in your hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Do me a favor, hit the like button as you're coming in. Hit the like button. I appreciate you for being here.
To be the God you are.
Welcome.
'Cause you are choosing to call me.
Welcome.
Na, 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 na. Oh, oh. There's no place. You are God. You are God. Ọlọ́run.
Welcome. Hit the like button. Thank you.
Ayé mi.
All right, welcome back. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's get the show going. I appreciate you for being here today. Welcome. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Welcome. Yes, today we're talking about Kaffy Alajota, the dancer. I like this young lady. She's not exactly a young lady, but she's young enough. Kaffy, yes, Kaffy reveals why her marriage ended. We're going to talk about that today. Hey, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Again, my name is Ola. I'm a marriage and relationship coach. My wife and I, we are marriage and relationship coaches. We've written books, 2 books. You can download them absolutely for free from manofprestige.com. Also, you'll be able to set up yourself on our 21-day boot camp, marriage virtual boot camp. If you're marriage minded, regardless of what your status is, it's a good boot camp, 21 days to go through. You can start at any time. It's virtual. Okay, so, and also you get access to these 2 books for free. The first one is called Get My Marriage Back, and the other one is called Number One Red Flag. All right, shout out to you. Today we're going to dive into this young lady's story. She was on Honest Bunch podcast over the past few days, and some interesting stuff. Such a fascinating background, and I thought this would be a good one for us to dive through for those of you that are serious enough about building, nurturing a healthy relationship or healthy relationships across the board. But of course, we're going to probably zone in on marriage, romantic relationships, and things like that. All right. So today it's all about Kaffy. All right. I'm going to take my time, but we're just going to be here for the hour, and then we'll go from there. If you have any questions, put a Q before it and then ask the question. Okay. That's how I know that it's a question. If I see a question mark, I will also address it. Okay. But if you're making a statement, I'm just going to assume that you are an adult like the rest of us and you know what you're doing. And that's always my dream. Anyway, so I want to do a quick shout out to all our sponsors. Shout out to you. We're up to, of course, I haven't really gone live much this month. It's been a slow month in that regard. So we're up to $69.80 in the month. The goal is $95.25. So we're doing well. So thank you so much for always supporting. And then obviously, some of you, you've made it a religion to always hit the like button when you come here, just to make sure you get the notifications in case you need to add it to your watch later, all that kind of stuff. I appreciate you. You can also use Cash App, that's $ Man of Prestige, Zelle, or PayPal, and that's ask@manofprestige.com. You can also use that email to reach out to us if you need help, you need a personal attention, you have a question, feel free to reach out. But what we do here is we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics. We attack them from a self, power, social, seduction, attraction, and emotional intelligence standpoint. We want to empower you. We don't want you to remain a victim beyond now. Okay, that's what we focus on. That's how we like to do it. That's what has worked for us. That's what has worked for our clients. And everything else, they just tend to make you go in circles and circles. You go just the shalaye, shalaye. No evidence.
Explain, because no evidence.
Shout out to Biba, good morning, good to see you, welcome. All right, so let's get into it. So again, like I said, we're going to be talking about Kaffy today. So the first thing I want to do is I want to review this there's this article on Premium Times that was published January 11, 2022. And it's called Why My Husband and I Parted Ways by Kaffy. So I'm going to read that first so you can get a background to her story in terms of marriage and divorce. Okay. And then we're going to play back and react to the Honest Bunch podcast real time. I'm going to be listening real time to the part where she started talking about marriage. Then we're going to extract lessons. I really like her. I like her because this is the kind of videos and live sessions that you don't get to see out in the social media streets. You see everything else but this type of video. So we're going to be constructive today. We're going to extract some real life lessons that will be applicable to you regardless of what your romantic status is. Okay, regardless of what now she's divorced, but again, sometimes adversity in life is where we learn the most, right? Everything else is just all smooth and it's a setup for failure because everybody will go through their own form of adversity. All right. So that's why I really like this kind of story. This story is a good story, particularly because it's not a story of perfection, but the pursuit of perfection, which is an ongoing thing, which there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Good afternoon, Abby. Welcome, Abby. Good to see you, Abby. Hit the like button as you're coming in. So according to the Premium Times article, it says, why my husband and I parted ways. Kaffy and her estranged husband, Joseph Ame, a music director, a drummer, wedded on June 2nd, 2012, and have 2 children together. Okay, this is the husband right here. Okay. And this article was by Stephen Ono. Nigerian dancer Kafayat Oluwatoyin, popularly known as Queen Kaffy, has revealed the reasons for her divorcing her husband after 9 years of marriage. Again, this was published in 2022. They were married on June 2nd, 2012. The 41-year-old dancer, she's now 45. The 41-year-old dancer took to Instagram to announce for the first time that her union with her husband, Joseph Ame, a music director and drummer, is over. On June 2nd, 2012, the lovebirds married and have 2 children. Mr. Ame, a famous singer, drummer, and producer. I've never seen this info. It's content anywhere, but okay. I don't know all the famous singer, drummer, and producers out there. He's a former drummer for P Square musical band. Okay, all right. That will make him popular and famous. Okay. Reasons for divorce. Although the couple is successful in their own right, Kaffy said the divorce gave each other a chance to grow. Interesting. She said taking the chance to break off our marriage was also to see that we both grow to become what we are supposed to be. Now, for those of you that are obsessed with marriage, that might sound triggering. Okay? Can I join you? Let me even tell you, even me inclusive, right? And that's where self-awareness comes in, right? That's where you listen. That's where you ask, what do you mean by that? Right? If you find something that triggers you, you don't just go straight back to your close-minded ideologies. Hold on. Instead, why not ask, what do you mean? Right? Instead, why don't you ask the person to elaborate? Right? So, because if you yield to your close-mindedness, that's precisely emotions. For you gentlemen that tend to claim that you're not emotional, that's precisely your emotions. All right? So, she said, taking the chance to break off our marriage was also to see that we both grow to become what we're supposed to be. Often sometimes you have to back off of a situation. You have to take a step back to really see what's going on. Some people come back and rebuild. Some people, it just wasn't meant to be, Kaffy explained that her marriage did not work out the way she wanted. It did not give her room to start reacting to the problem. According to her, sometimes the person complaining might be the problem. Yes. But the way I like to say that is that the person complaining actually has more power than they realize. Right? This is why I focus on empowerment. That's why we focus on self-power, seduction, emotional intelligence, social power. That's why we focus on that, because the easy way for me to go viral is to focus on the problem and help you blame your villains, right? I can easily go viral like that. All I have to do is sit down here, pick one side of the villain that there's a good sizable audience for, and just help you drag them all day long, every day of the week, right? So, but you also know that there's no growth in that. And I quote, marriage is supposed to be an alignment of destiny. That's for couples to drive to a place God wants them. And mine didn't work out that way. And rather than looking at someone as the problem, sometimes you could be the problem of that person. So, being an enabler of someone not being able to do what they're supposed to do can also be that you're not supposed to be in that space, she stated. I can respect all of that. But again, there might be videos I've listened to and I'm like, that's cap, because I also want people to be able to be realistic to an extent. But this is actually being realistic, If you're able to be self-accountable, That should be enough, at least for us in the public space. But at a personal level, I hope she means that, like she's able to look in the mirror and really focus on how could I have been better. Again, I'm going to play some of the video. She was on Honest Bunch podcast yesterday. I'm going to play some of that video before we round up. Lessons. In advising her supporters and disclosing lessons she learned from the marriage, Kaffy urged everyone to understand that life isn't all about reacting to the world and everything happening inside it. And I quote, "So there was a lot to learn and there is still a lot more to learn. I want to express that and motivate you to understand that life is not all about reaction to the world. It is not about reacting to what wants you to say, what the world wants you to say, or what the world wants to hear, what the world wants you to be, or what the world wants you to wear, or what the world wants you to look like or get married," she added. Kaffy was thrust into the limelight in 2006 when she led her dance group to break the Guinness Book of Record for longest dance party after they danced for 55 hours and 40 minutes. She's currently a choreographer, dance instructor, fitness coach. She's also the founder and owner of a Magneto Dance Company. And also she just published a book called the Alajota. She calls it the person who commercialized dancing, as opposed to people that say that have used such word, Yoruba word, to denigrate people in the past. Again, that's Kaffy right there. So I want us to get into the video. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me close this guy right here. Let's close this guy. Okay, I want us to get into some of the video. We're going to react to the Honest Bunch podcast video. Let's make sure there's no ads that will play, and then we can get going on some of the things that she has to say, and then we can catch some clues, some lessons. And if you can do me a favor, take the link to this video and share it. Okay, share it. It's going to take us a while to ginger the algorithm, but we're here for it. All right, I knew the ad was coming, right? All right, so let the ad play and then we'll be right back to it. All right, here we go.
Still has to this the nurture, the nature, the environment that nurture the mindset that believes that take from men, this for men. There's this war, man against woman, gender wars, and all of that is purely unnecessary. Man is equally as attacked as woman is, and guess what? Women are the power that the world still has to heal even the man. That's if a woman knows how to heal herself and understand that place of that power that she wills. I am becoming the divine feminine that God has made me to be. And my essence and my light will not only heal me, heal a lot of people out there. I'm just saying, don't give up on yourself. Let go and let God. When people ask me most of the time, what keeps you young? Forgiveness. And it's not once. People don't know that you have to forgive certain things over and over again. Over and over again. If it comes, you need to forgive. So I cannot be forgiving. Let me just shut it out. Then you're not going to find true healing.
What keeps you young? Forgiveness. What keeps you young? Forgiveness. Where do we start with that? All right, so there are multiple angles to forgiveness. Again, I'm just going to be adding context. I 100% agree with a lot of things she was saying. It's just sad that a family had to be separated, but that's just life sometimes, and the closest in your own family, in your own life, the closest you can get to what you desire in terms of your romantic life is to understand these principles that she's about to talk about. Okay, that's the closest. There's no guarantee in life, obviously, right? But this is the closest. If you turn around, like she said, and you start attacking the other gender, directly, indirectly, consciously, unconsciously, yes, even when you're quote unquote speaking the truth, yeah, it's going to backfire for you personally. Okay, and it doesn't matter that, we're just debating on the internet. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Okay. It's the same thing, because there's something in you that's giving so much energy to such activities, and you can only pretend for so long. You can have a one-off. It could be a debate, It could be you truly believe in something, but you consistently find yourself in attacking a particular gender, even if you're a member of that gender. Yes. So, yes, absolutely. Forgiveness is not something you do, but so again, there's multiple angles to forgiveness, right? There is the person that you have a hard time forgiving, and there's the person that you find it super easy to forgive. Okay. Both of them are not inherently just absolutely always good. The thing that is good is forgiveness for your own good, because you stay young. I agree with that 100%. But what's even more important is where you're coming from when you're forgiving, right? If you're the person that tends to forgive so fast, you tend to try to manipulate other people into forgiveness as fast as you are able to forgive. That also doesn't work. You see, if you noticed, I just called it manipulation, right? Also, if you're the kind of person that have a hard time forgiving, it's because you are still thinking you're doing other people a favor when you forgive. You're not doing other people a favor. You've heard it long enough. It's at this point, it should be a cliche that you're forgiving for yourself. Well, it's the truth. That's the reason why it's a cliche. It's the truth, right? So you need to find where you fall in that category. But I can only forgive, but I can't forget. You're shooting yourself on the legs and you're stuck in semantics. It's not about that. It's about intentionally choosing to do yourself a favor and choose to stop making this the center of your reality. It's going to be hard. It's easier said than done. If you've been hurt, if you feel betrayed, it's easier said than done. But that's exactly what you need to do to move forward. So she's absolutely correct. Welcome, Marriott. I see you, Marriott. Let's continue.
Let it come. I've learned to, like the things you talk about, I've learned to sit with the pain. And when it comes knocking at the door, like I saw on Instagram, a lady was like, grief, welcome. Sit. What do you have for me today? What do you want to say today that I don't already know? Let's have a conversation. It's okay. Now I know I'm safe now. Nobody's taking me away again. Nobody's going to abandon me again. I'm safe now. I'm safe in where I am. I know we have to speak to ourselves a lot that way. Remind ourselves that we are safe. Forgive those that they're just guidance. And sometimes they might misguide. But one thing that in all of this, we need to sit with and finally just understand that life happened for you and not against you. I will not be that great woman. I will not be that woman that can touch lives if I don't have the true story of a broken life that God put together to tell. I cannot relate with a young girl if I did not go through my pain. I cannot relate with a young guy if I did not go through my pain. I speak into men as much as I can speak into women. And I speak from a place of where I have been and not from the poison of where I have been. Because some people will derail men and women because of their pain. We have people doing that a lot. Toxic.
All right, shots fired. Okay, I'll let it run.
Positivity, toxic preaching, toxic femininity, toxic masculinity, all driven from the same place of pain because they claim you are trying to protect you so you don't be like them. No, you don't protect people by avoidance. You protect by being present.
She's preaching.
The space that you are. Acceptance, not avoidance.
Hello, traders, and welcome back to the Trading View.
She's preaching. Oh, wow. All right, good. Let's talk about that real quick. First of all, she talks about, I went and put up this scripture real quick. For we cannot do anything against the truth, but only for the truth. You know, the people that tend to say they just like to speak the truth, they tend to forget this statement. This is a scripture from the Christian Bible, but it's actually true. Yoruba people so pe biro ba nlo logo odun, one day ọjọ́ kan òótọ́ máa bá. We don't need to help the truth. The truth will be, right? Sometimes it looks like it's taking too long. But what she was saying there is precisely that when life happens, it's happening for you. Now, it's cute, and she's right. But there's one condition though. There's a prerequisite for that. You have to believe that. It won't work if you don't believe it. So I don't know. How can I help you believe it? Maybe that's the next step. That would be the next best step. How can I help you believe that everything that happens to you is not happening to you really? It's happening for you, but Ola, which one are you saying? I have people tell me all the time if I join a panel, say that, but which one are you saying? They want to know, like, tell me exactly what you're trying to say. You seem to be sitting on the fence. Let me repeat myself. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Okay? You shall do nothing against but for the truth.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
The prerequisite is that you have to believe that. Now, again, like many other things that any winner in this life have to do, it's easier said than done. Like everything you have to do, like anything that's worthwhile that you have to work towards. So we're talking about you want to build wealth. We're talking about you have to you want good health, right? Obviously, you want good relationships. Anything and everything under those things, right? It's easier said than done, but it's highly rewarding once you can figure out how to get on the path, on the journey, and it gets easier and easier and easier. But again, for now, depends on where you are in your journeys, it's easier said than done. Okay, but now in this last segment here, she seems to be talking about the toxicity that we see, especially in this social media streets, the only form of media that exists really right now. Because me and you, both of us, were plugged in on our phone 24/7. This is the form of media that exists. So we have to be careful, right? Let's listen.
Put together to tell. I cannot relate with a young girl. They're just guidance, and sometimes they might misguide. But one thing that in all of this, we need to sit with and finally just understand that life happened for you and not against you.
Yeah.
I will not be that great woman. I will not be that woman that can touch lives if I don't have the true story of a broken life that God put together to tell. I cannot relate with a young girl if I did not go through my pain. I cannot relate with a young guy if I did not go through my pain. I speak into men as much as I can speak into women. And I speak from a place of where I have been and not from the poison of where I have been. Because some people will derail men and women because of their pain. We have people doing that a lot. Toxic positivity, toxic preaching, toxic femininity, toxic masculinity, all driven from the same place of pain because they claim they are trying to protect you so you don't be like them. No.
Before you try to heal other people, you need to heal first. Before you try to help anyone, you see, there's a natural urge. There's a natural urge to save everyone else from what you've gone through. It makes sense to me. I get it. Some people call it, that's my fight. That's my life mission. Some people will say my goal is the next generation. But wait, hold on. You can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot help from a place of hurt and pain, or as she calls it, poison, right? Pain, believe it or not, adversity can be a good thing when you look at the grand scheme of things, right? A person's journey, right? You can't really understand life until you've gone through some things, until you've had some difficulty in life, until you've gone through some challenges. So it's almost like we're asking you to pray for adversity, but not exactly. We're telling you it's a default. You don't have to pray for it, right? But we're telling you that when you do start experiencing it in any format, you should recognize it as opportunity, as an opportunity to grow to your next level. Again, it sounds kumbaya, but exactly, right? Because that's what winners have to do. You look at something that just sounds too much like somebody singing song, you want to slap them. You just want to get to the answer. Like, give me the answer straight. But if I give you the answer straight, how can you appreciate? You cannot appreciate something that you haven't gone through the process, right? If I just hand it over to you, like anything else in life, if God just hand it over to you and just say, hey, yo, on a silver platter, you start enjoying life, you would take it for granted. The same exact reason why we take each other for granted inside of relationship. You start seeing this person every day. You start saying, what is it that they're there for? And what is your usefulness gonna care? Right? I know. It's natural to do that. It's called see finish. It's called taking each other for granted. Anyway, I digress. But let's continue. She's spitting.
No, you don't protect people by avoidance. You protect by being present in the space that you are. Acceptance, not avoidance. Accept. And that's where I am. I've accepted everything. The only reason why I'm even reliving this story is not because I sit with it every day and I say, hey, mommy have done me this, daddy has done me this. It's done. They are gone. But their legacy lives on. And whatever it is that God put in them, right? They were meant to be my parents. I was meant to go through what I went through so that I'm meant to go through with the level of awareness I am so that my son, Sean, and my daughter, Eliana, will be a better version of even me.
All right. So far she had been talking about her and her parenthood. Actually, do me a favor. Once we're done with this live session, I'm not going to take long here today. Go watch the full episode. It's about 2 hours and 27 minutes. It's packed. In my opinion, it's packed. I think you'll get a lot out of it, right? But the previous hour, before I get to this point in the video, I'm watching the 1 hour and 10 seconds right now. 1 hour and 10 minutes, right? Was about her childhood. Like I said earlier on, she had a fascinating childhood, right? Oftentimes when we're dealing with issues in relationships, we don't realize that it is not necessarily your fault. You see, people fight back and get into all this gender war because deep inside of them, they still feel like it's their fault and they resent their own self. But what that looks like is that everybody around them will just start collecting, right? They will hang around and try to call it, we just want to hold people accountable. It's a lie. There's something deep inside that's eating them up, right? So she went back and really talked about how she grew up, how she ran away from home, and how she had to go save her siblings, how she ended up with parents that simply didn't know what they were doing. I said simply, but that, imagine all the children in that situation. So imagine her ending up in a marriage and having to figure a lot of these things that she's saying that makes so much sense right now, having to figure that out, right? Her marriage had to be gone with it, right? That's the cost of it, right? And there's somebody's son involved in that, right? But she's doing a fantastic job and not painting the picture as she's bitter. She doesn't sound bitter to me, right? So again, she's making some lots of valid sense right now. But right now, she's about to get a little bit into the marriage stuff because Izine is about to ask her some questions. Let's go into it.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot to uncover, and I know a lot of things could be taken out of context.
I wanted to move to something that doesn't have to do with your parents this time around. It has to do with you. And you mentioned your children.
Yeah.
And people have had issues. I had wanted to ask earlier about how you wanted to seek validation because you wanted your dad to love you. And I wanted to also ask you how that affected your relationship when you proper started, having like relationships with men. But you answered that earlier by talking about love and value. You don't need somebody to validate you.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're in the social media space and we know you two personally. It's not like there was anything hidden in your marriage. And unlike other marriages that would go south and you have people, bashing themselves on social media and he's a bad man, he's not going to see my children, and all that. You acted like it almost didn't happen, because you were still cheerful. And when you were open to talk about it. I don't know how long it happened before you finally spoke about it, but the time that you spoke about it, you didn't speak with pain. People would almost say, are you serious? Are you sure you're not lying? But you spoke about it. And I want to ask, how are you able to go through these very difficult times?
Yeah.
Looking back at where you're coming from and what you have been through, how were you able to sit through it and still come out and say like it didn't happen? What happened? How did you do it?
All right, before she answers, right? Let me just first of all make something clear. She said something about some people will come out on social media and say he's a bad man, I won't let him see my children. Occasionally we see that, yes. For the most part, they don't say it out loud like that. Don't wait until you say it out loud before you realize you might just be one of those people, right? I thought it was important for me to say that at this moment. Don't wait until you're like, he's a bad person. This man, don't wait until that. Sometimes it's stuff that's very, very covert. Something that's very, very, focus more on your actions. If you're going to assess this, make sure you're not operating from a place of bitterness, right? Focus more on what you're actually doing, not what you say you would do. A lot of people, they say they would do it, but some of them are just loud. It's just as bad. I'm just saying, don't limit it to only people that say, hey, I'm here to hurt my ex-partner. No, it's a lot of people will hurt or get on this journey of vindictive behavior, but they do it from a very covert place. Now, in terms of the question she's asking her, how her childhood trauma affect relationships, but she's going to speak to her own experience. Let's listen in.
How do I coin this?
Hello traders, and welcome back to the Trading View channel. Thomas here, and in this video,
Are you all right? Are you okay? All right, let's go.
The nature of who you are. How do I coin this? The nature of who you are will always show itself regardless of the circumstance. It's not anything performative. It's just who I am. I don't operate with bitterness. Before I even made it official that I wasn't doing anymore, I was already not doing anymore.
Oh deep. She left long before she actually left. Gentlemen, they just wait one day. They just abruptly 70% of divorces are initiated by women, and they just wake up and they just leave because of quote unquote happiness. Women are living because of happiness. And then some women will actually join the party and say, yes, I don't like when women live for happiness. Let's tell ourselves the truth. All right, that's the most surface level nonsense I've ever heard on this internet street. When a person leaves a marriage, they've left long before that moment when they pull the trigger. As a matter of fact, their partner left long before they pulled the trigger. Sometimes it's the man that left first. Sometimes it's the other partner who did not file the divorce that left the marriage first. What we see in the courthouses is the person who went to fill out a petition first. That's what we see. So yeah, let's keep going. She said, let's keep going.
And I was already not only mentally, physically, relationally, I was already putting myself in the space of, okay, this is not working.
It is
Why
what
is
it
it not
is.
working? I took counsel. I had a therapist. I had all the things. Before something spoils, you go on, try everything you can to fix it.
Right.
Trust me, I did everything. I read all the books. I put myself on the scale. Okay, where am I making the mistake? Everything that you can think of, that a woman that loves family, because I do love family. I love the whole essence of it and everything like that. But I didn't understand how to pick a partner. I didn't understand what being with the right one was about.
She did not understand how to pick a partner. Okay, let's keep going. This is the part of the topic you like the most. Yes, learn everything, ask all the right questions. But she said something earlier on. She said this is not performative. Occasionally, I see people that attempt to attack me with I'm being performative. I call it attempt because I'm like, okay, okay, I'm being performative. I don't. If I'm being performative and I can do it consistently, sustainably, I think you can at least acknowledge that I'm really good at what I do. Anyway, it doesn't matter if I'm performative or not, as long as I can sustain it. The problem with performative is if it's truly performative, it won't last. That's the problem with it. And it is true, some people are performative, but if you have discernment spirits, you can discern that easily. Okay, so she's saying all this stuff where she came out and spoke wasn't performative. There's a lot of work that she had done. And if you notice, if you pay attention to what I do here, I don't ask you to go and try to save another person's child. In fact, what I tell you to focus on is self, so you can have enough to pour into other people. Because if they decided to do life with you, that means they put a certain that means they killed a certain aspect of themselves. It's a form of sacrifice, and sometimes that will come creeping in sometimes, and they will come off as weak, or they have a weak moment, and you will need to also be pouring into that person for them to refill their tank, so they can also pour into you, right? As opposed to this idea that you can just do it all by yourself. No, you can't do it all by yourself. Or you need, this is the part that you guys call it takes two to tango. I just say, yeah, of course it takes two to tango, but why don't you start with you first? Right? No, don't wait for simultaneous meeting in the middle, because that doesn't exist. You start with you. Start seeking the help that you need. No, I'm not the one that needs the help. She needs the help. So she can do what? So she can become the person that you want. That's the help that you need. Go and seek help first. Don't make us on your boso. Anyway, Uncle Patrick, good to see you, sir. Let's see. Uncle Patrick said, "At no MOP are not doing anymore before saying not doing anymore. He or she had left since." Exactly, sir. I think I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, she left a long time ago. Mario said, Mr. Mario said, you are usually on the woman's side eye. Yeah, you have to, especially men have to listen to me long enough. Or sometimes they have to end up in the proper poto. They have to end up in the proper poto before they can really comprehend what I'm trying to say, But yeah, if it sounds like it is what it is, I'm okay with that. But anyway, let's keep going.
I was misled by meals and bones and butterflies in the tummy. And yeah. As funny as that, it has a subliminal programming that it does to the mind of people. And it creates unrealistic expectation that you have of another human.
Let's go back a little bit.
I didn't understand what being with the right one was about. I was misled by meals and bones and butterflies in the tummy. And
butterflies.
As funny as that, it has a subliminal programming that it does to the mind of people. And it creates unrealistic expectation that you have of another human being.
Unrealistic
I stopped thinking
expectations.
about him being the wrong one, and also seeing myself, and maybe I was also the wrong one for him.
Oh.
But women always want to project the other person as bad. What about if I was bad? For him, doesn't mean that we are both bad people. We're just not good for each other. Right? And I found out that the kind of woman...
I actually think being a good or bad person is absolutely irrelevant. That's where men fail. They think before you say one or two sentences, they start going like character. A woman will last longer if you just have character. Like, you know me by character, but what do you mean by character? If you ask 5 men what they mean by character, each one of them will give you a different version of what they mean by character. Every single one of them.
Sorry.
Uncle Patrick, I hail, sir. Shewa, good to see you, sir. Right? Every single one of them will give you a different version of what they think by character. So, and they're actually attempting to add logic into the conversation, right? They're attempting, like, let's put character into this, right? And so character, kilo me iwa, like tomoba niwa, Yoruba is tomoba niwa. Yeah, adro silioko. It's irrelevant. Not in 2025. It's absolutely irrelevant. Because if that person does not have good character and you marry them, what does that make you? Like I've always said, one of the hardest things ever is self-accountability, right? So now she's saying she didn't know how to pick a partner. She says she had butterflies. Guess what? All of us, 100% of us, of course, especially you ladies, right? The butterflies, you were in love, right? But let me tell you something. Another thing that we tend to discombobulate is the love thing, right? We had different meanings to it. In fact, in Yoruba language, I think it's called Ife, but Ife, love. When you you can love anybody. I guess it's just like the word love, right? But what do you mean by love? What do you mean by love? Now, for me, the definition of love is not in the dictionary. Love is a state of mind where you're willing to give. But it's a state of mind that can change, right? It's a condition, and no condition is permanent. Yes, exactly, right? So that's still love. You're not thinking about what that person is going to bring to the table when you're in love with them. You're fascinated by them. You're willing to give and pour into them until the human nature will kick in at some point. Some people say 18 months. Some studies say 18 months. Some people say 2 years. It will kick in, right? Because you're pouring so much, you're busy pouring so much. You start to, at some point, you start, their true nature will show up. They've been presenting a representative all the while. Now they're showing you their true self, and now you start to feel some type of way. Feelings. You start to feel some type of way. Like you feel like you're pouring so much, but they're not pouring back. Guess what? They're probably feeling the same thing. Your partner, your husband, your friend, they're probably feeling the same thing. They've been looking at some certain way, but you guys have been winging things. You haven't really taken the time to really, what does this look like over a longer term period of time, right? How can we sustain this feeling? It's still a feeling. How can we sustain it over a period of time? That's the question that all of us were trying to get answered. Because you still need to have a feeling where you're willing to pour and give into this other person. But how can you sustain that over a period of time? That's the big question. Because if you just count on your own understanding, if that's all you're depending on, collect. All of that is going to fall apart. Everything you think you know, particularly the common sense nonsense, all of that is going to fall apart. Because common sense told you, I'm a good guy. You're supposed to just love me. I came from a good home. What do people do eventually? They turn around. They start verbally abusing each other. Is that how they train you in your house? That's what's wrong with you modern women. They did not train you in your house. That's what men that don't know what they're doing will say. They didn't train you in your house. If they trained you in your house, you won't come here and be trying to play equality with me. By the way, he's already playing the equality. He doesn't realize. He's waiting for Neverland to tell him that he's already playing equality. Once you start arguing with a woman, yeah, you are playing equality. Probably more than her. Because he's probably crying out and saying, I'm looking for a man, a manly man, a leader. I don't know what, I can't trust your leadership. What do you mean you can't trust my leadership? Why don't you go with the simps then? Why did you marry me? You two, you're like, well, they told me I'm supposed to marry a traditional man. But then I can't do traditional man anymore. I am not happy. And then what does he do? He turns around and says, hey, so you want to leave your marriage because you're no longer happy, Abi? And guess what happens? You two, you feel like, wow, I think I made the wrong choice. Right? She did not know how to pick. Now, picking a spouse, it's not a one-time thing. You have to keep picking them for a long time, just like love. You have to keep loving them. You have to keep pouring into them. Love is not give and take. It's pouring. It's pouring. Giving. It's giving. What happens if they're not giving back? Give to yourself. Focus on self. Take a step back and start pouring into yourself. Well, what if that doesn't work? Keep pouring into yourself. That may be you're leaving the marriage. I don't know. It depends on what you're dealing with. It depends on your specific story. But you never want to take your eyeballs off of the true meaning of love, which is to be capable of giving, including giving to yourself. Uncle Patrick says, marriage is all about being intentional, compromise, and forgiveness. The need to stop dwelling at unrealistic expectations. The idea that this person will continue to show up the way they show up on day one. Women just change on you. They just flip on you. They do. What about you? We all change. It's literally impossible to not change. The only thing that's constant is change. I'm a traditional man. Why? Because I like things to be done the way it used to be. Okay, keep doing it. And it should keep working for you. If it's not working, there's a problem. The need to stop dwelling at unrealistic expectations. Both of you are different personalities with diverse life experiences. Precisely. Welcome, Babes Wins. Let's keep going. Unrealistic expectations are number 3 here. 4-point focus, friendship, sex, yes. Expectations, pride, and ego. Coconut Ed. Let's keep going.
That I am. I am
I'm
an
rounding up.
enabler. No, you understand. You want to fix things. I'm a fixer.
Enabler.
I am an enabler. Good.
Enabler.
Right. And I found out that
No. Let's just hold him accountable. No, enabler. Hello, enabler. Ladies. Enabler. There's nothing that would do wrong in this relationship that is not subscribed to by you two. Okay? What do you mean you two? You're realizing exactly. Yeah, you two. You two. Okay? It's not possible for somebody to keep dragging you unless you subscribe to it. They can start, but you get the chance to leave. Unfortunately, some situations are too late, one too many. I'm not talking about those extremes. I'm talking about on an ongoing basis. Somebody keep treating you a certain way. You are signing up for, you are enabling accountability.
kind of woman that I am an enabler. No, you understand? You want to fix things. I'm a fixer. It's not good for certain men. It will not allow them to blossom into their fullness of who they are. It probably even casts a shadow of who they are to them.
Yeah.
And you will not get what you are expecting. You can't be a fixer and still have expectations.
You can't be a fixer and still have expectations. You're enabling is the exact reason why sometimes separation is necessary. I call it taking a step back. I call it back off a little bit. I've said that from day one here. You can't tell me I didn't tell you. Back off. Back off. So what happens if you back off? What is the fear? Why are you afraid of backing off that situation? What if you back off and when you come back, they're no longer there anymore? Let me ask you, what if you back off and they're no longer there? Are you telling me that that's the end of your life? Oh, maybe that's the problem. You've been pouring from an empty cup. You have nothing to bring to the table. You're not self-sustainable. And this is especially true for you, gentlemen. You're afraid. Take a step back so you can see what's going on. And so you can allow growth sometimes. In order to allow growth, you have to let air breathe. You have to let the thing breathe. You have to let ategun. You have to let oxygen come in. When you nurture, sometimes you clear the surrounding, you remove the weeds and stuff like that. The same thing is true in relationships, particularly long-term relationships. It's the same skill set that you have while you were doing the talking stage that you need to have if you're in divorce stage and you're talking to a person again. It's the same skill set. The only difference is that it's easy to exit one than the other. That's the only difference. It's the same skill set. Stop telling yourself that relationship is different from marriage. You know what I mean? Outside of just paperwork and the fact that you can leave one easier. What do you mean? It's the same thing. It's the same skill set. Learning how to take 3 steps forward and 2 steps backward sometimes. So you can let it breathe. Sometimes so you can let yourself breathe. You're a human being, right? You're not God. You're not some supernatural thing. You're a person. You're somebody's child. And guess what? You're dealing with somebody's child too. And sometimes you're dealing with their childhood trauma, right? Sometimes their way of coping is avoidance. In spite of what she said earlier on, that's the way of coping. Now, is that healthy long term? No, it's not. But you need to understand what it is first before you can fix it.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn within all of that system to look. I had spoke to God. I prayed. I fasted. I did all I needed to do. And I knew that, first of all, marriage is not the reason why you're here on earth, because marriage not even the heaven self. So it's a construct of this 3D world that we are in. And yes, as much as it is important in order to create good communities and environment and people with the same system of how will I put it, moral and core values, it is not what validates your existence, like we've been, propagated to be. And I had to unlearn that mindset, because being a dancer, that whole idea of that you only rock affair, nobody's going to put in you don't have a stable home, you don't have all of that. So all of that was also playing in all of.
Okay, so being a dancer, she married a drummer, right? I'm going to end it right here. Being a dancer, Uncle Patrick, if you want to contribute real quick, sir, the link is pinned to the top, sir. Being a dancer, being married to a drummer, alagbi, entertainment, you have all these voices in your head. And sometimes you might end up being with a person out of being desperate. Now, some of you will turn around and say, I guess I'm with the wrong person. Wrong. You're making a choice on a daily basis. Like she said, you have to do everything in your power to fix the situation first. Okay, especially if you have children with this person is good enough to be with. But again, if it's not sustainable, it's not sustainable. It depends. It's case by case by case. Sometimes you're looking for balance, and what I'm saying, the best position for balance is to approach these issues from a case by case by case by case situation. Your story, everybody's story is different. All the principles that she shared thus far, I agree with them all 100%. No, I've been telling you guys from day one of this platform, do not put marriage on a pedestal. Marriage is the function of the people in it. If the people in it are trash, the marriage will be trash. If the people on it are people that are intentional, that marriage will be growing, will be getting better and better and better and better. Now, when I say both people are growing, that's not all the way realistic. Sometimes it takes one person to not sometimes, actually all the time. Influence is at play. I said pay. Influence is at play. If you are able to complain, like she said in the article, you have power. You have more power than you realize. Your mindset, your pain will tell you that it is the end of the world. In fact, you might have carried a cross and you're trying to save the rest of the world. People that feel your same pain. You call it, oh, this is my fight now. You want to save. You can't save them if you're not saved. You need to save yourself first. Put your own mask on first. I hope that helps. Babesman says, no, if they're not there anymore, you move. Relationship is not by force. Listen, the idea here is the same thing, the same power that God gave us, free will. If it doesn't involve free will, it's useless, at least in 2025 and beyond. And sometimes it looks like free will, but you actually manage to manipulate them into staying with you. You know what I said about truth earlier, right? You shall do nothing against, but for the truth. With that being said, I'm going to bring Uncle Patrick to speak to us a little bit. We end the show. Uncle Patrick, talk to us. How are you, sir?
Hey, Ola.
Shewa.
Yeah, Moa, good to have you.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, well, I'm just going to say something briefly. You know, patience is a virtue. And these people, they have a lot of ideas, a lot of principles that I don't even know, Ola.
I hear you, sir.
Sometimes, most times when you are driving, you can't see your blind spots.
Yes. You have to face forward. Anyway.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, I just noticed that the buses in England, they have a camera at the back. See the rear. They have at the side, unlike here in America. All those three double-decker buses. I watched it because I'm into transportation. So I was like, wow. So these people even have camera at the back so that the driver can see what's going on. So, like I said, if you're in this situation, Ola, you need to cool down.
Yeah.
And talk to professional.
Absolutely.
You know, that was a class I flunked one time and I wanted to retake it. And the professor, he said, Patrick, why are you turning the wheel? That was when I realized I just dropped you. I don't even need this class. So when you are in this situation, let them calm down. I'm not saying this is going to be exactly. This lady that talked, if she entered the same second marriage, she might make the same mistake.
Yes, of course. We know the numbers are 75% on second and third marriages.
Yeah, so she need to download all those things she's saying. Oh my God.
It's a lot. Did you watch the video, sir?
I just started not long, but you know,
right.
Because you have married somebody else and you are telling me, I know this, I know I've been, while I go Shelly,
Yeah, because there's so many people. You're right, sir. There's so many people with theory, But in real life, all that is gonna get tested.
You just nail it, Ola.
Yeah.
So it depends on the personality you are dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. You need to study each other, take time to know each other, do's and don'ts, compromise, Everybody has his own time. We've been there as well. We are not perfect, we are still learning.
Yes.
And just to give you all this theory, all this principle, we know it exists, but like you said, Ola, the person you are dealing with matters.
That's the person that will teach you the most.
Yeah.
The person, either we're talking about man or woman, you are a student of that person. You have to pay attention to what you're dealing with. There are some principles, but that person is the one that will teach you, not necessarily with their mouth. But, there's more to that, Sha.
Ola, if you are marrying a first daughter, it's different from a last daughter of the house. You know that the role of a first daughter, the middle daughter, the last daughter of the house.
Yeah. Yes, it's different because they bring too many things. Their reality brings so many things to the table that you might even never find out until you end up in the poto first.
Last daughter will have been pampered because of the last baby.
Yeah, they're spoiled.
The first daughter will have gone through a lot of backbone, seen everything.
Yes.
So a lot.
Yeah. So what we know, sir, is that lastborn used to be spoiled, right? But there's another angle to that. If you go into that relationship with that pre-notion mindset, that can even backfire.
Yes.
If you don't know how to listen first, regardless of what the prejudice or presumptions we might have, that's another skill set on its own. Like, okay, we know these people tend to do this, but I still need to keep an open mind, So it's multiple layers of what we're talking about, but there are only a few set of principles, sir. There are a few set of, and you said one of them, and I wanted to highlight what you said. Patience. There's no overflogging patience, sir.
I've been with people that have been in this business more than I did, and they lecture me.
So if they walk away, because I see Marriott earlier said there's a lot. What did she say? Yeah, but it's simple. It's still simple. It's patience.
A medical doctor making 10 figures, the head of department, very smart lady.
Yeah.
But backbones, she just lost it. She got divorced. Because
Yeah.
what's the apple now?
Yeah, it's a complex thing, but yet very simple. Not easy, but simple.
Yeah.
But small baby steps, a little, just patience, and that patience is for you. Have some patience with yourself. Don't be too quick to beat yourself down, because a lot of people are reacting from a place of resentments against themselves. For example, this idea that I picked the wrong person, if you resent yourself enough, it looks crazy on the outside.
Who is the right person?
Who is the right person? Exactly. Who is the right person? The person that you will never fight.
Yeah.
You just be together. You've asked all the questions, there will never be a fight. No argument.
They
play.
Ola, in the beginning, was it so for Ola? Ola was the right person for Lola, right?
On that day, Esa, I just started here. I don't think we are compatible. I don't think we are compatible. This is now 10 years later.
Yes, Ola, leave that it.
It's like I used to say, so it's like all the Amoburi, the women, they have a meeting and they say the same thing. They use the same terminologies when everything fall apart. When everything is scattered, they will use the same language. I don't think we are compatible. I'm no longer in love. I don't know. I think I need some space. They use the same exact terminologies. I tell this brother, calm down, talk to your brother, because I can help you out if you just calm down. So predictable. Well, not to me at the time, but for some of us, it's predictable. We can help you.
Right. They are not seeing their blind spot there now.
You don't see then. So some of us are lucky to still be here, sir. But when I say luck, I don't mean magic. There's some principles.
You put in the work too now. What do you mean?
Yes. Exactly, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Uncle Patrick for helping us add some spice on that. We'll be back here tomorrow, 11. Back here tomorrow. So we're going to round up this show right here. Do me a favor, if you got some value from this, shout out to Biba. Biba said, Kaffy sounds like she's doing the work to learn and increase her self-awareness. I do think she's doing a lot of work, a lot of theoretical work, probably a lot of practical work on the self standpoint, but all of that will have to be tested when she ends up with a partner. Keep that in the back of your mind, because when you're dealing with another human being, that will be tested if that's what she chooses to do at some point. And the growth is worth it for every step. Okay, shout out to the Chucky, good to see you. Hello, come late, you can rewind. It's gonna be a short one. Let's end the show on that note, on that high note. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we do go live. Shout out to everybody that stopped by. I appreciate you for all your support always. Help me share the video. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. Don't forget to download the books. Just go to manofprestige.com. Bye now.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.